So right now I'm running these vocals here at the top, running them through this right here, the 6176. Specifically, I'm using 1176, and I'm using a real fast attack, a real fast release, because I'm only catching the peaks. Now if you look what just happened, I tamed this take up here a little bit, you know what I mean? I only took a little bit off the top. So this is the thing with hardware. When you're running hardware, you have to print your hardware down. I do it in multiple layers. So I push to make it to at least 0. It doesn't sound bad when it goes past 0. It depends on the vocal and depends on what you're going for. Depends on the genre. Depends on a whole lot. Use your judgment as a mix engineer. Really study the craft or whatever genre you mixing and what it should sound like, and specifically whatever the artist is trying to do. So now that's gonna show the screen. This gonna show my face. In the studio, chopping it up with your boy Real, and I'm with I Am Music Marketing. That's who I'm with. Who are you? Why should we listen to you? Well, shit, listen to what my work sound like. If you don't feel like you should listen to me, I ain't finna try to convince you you should listen to me. Take your ass on somewhere else in the cosmos. I just playing. Nah, but so check this out, man. I'm gonna go ahead and create another playlist for this, and I'm on Pro Tools, by the way. If you didn't notice.
Wait for me. I know you think you could find better, baby, but just wait for me. I know you think you could find better, baby, but just wait and see. I know. Tell me who gon' do you better. Tell me who gon' do you better.
So listen, I ain't even done yet, you know what I mean? But like, obviously it has auto-tune here, but if you look at the auto-tune, oh yeah, it is actually pretty heavy. I didn't realize that bit was that heavy, you heard me? But shit, fuck it, it needed it, you know what I mean? A little bit of EQ, you know what I mean? A de-esser, you know what I mean? Ain't doing too much. And then of course, the handy dandy right here, the big dog. So anyway, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna come right here and we're gonna make another track again, and then we're gonna move this up here and move this up here. Right? So now it's starting to look, if you look at the original, we go back to playlist and we look at, let me make this one down here just as big. Right, so this right here is the original. Right, it look kind of funky, so let me show you, man. See, you see how that shit is, how dynamic that shit is. Now you see how this right here is coming out as one big blob, like how it's supposed to come out. That's how it's supposed to be, and that's how it is. You feel me? So we're gonna run it through the 1176 one more time. If you hear this shit and be like, yo, this shit sound trash, bruh, I'm not finna print down this. Now that would be a dumbass mistake if I would have been printing down my EQ, my auto-tune, and my de-esser. The fuck would you, why would you do that? So don't do that. Alright, so
I know you think you could find better, baby, but just wait.
Alright, let me show y'all what's happening over here, cause I mean, this shit is important, fam. So this is just how I do it. It's a set of rules. I mean, set of tools, not a set of rules. You feel me? Like if you don't feel like doing it that way, you ain't gotta do it that way. But this how I do it. So
I know you think you could find better, baby, but just wait for me. I know you think you could find better, baby, but just wait for me. I know you think you could find better, baby, but just wait and see. I know.
So I'm about ready to print that down. I'm gonna go ahead and print that whole thing down again. Hey, the dude that made that beat too, by the way, the dude's name is Spidey on the beat. Fucking fire, bruh. That man got smackers, straight up smackers, you feel me? So like, if you looking for beats, hit my nigga Spidey up, bro. Alright, now we moving on to the LA-2A. Now, my style, what I like to do is what I seen some other engineers do. That shit sound good, you feel me? So I started using real fast compression and going into a slower compression, you feel me? I like when it get compressed, I like it to be raw. Now I mean, I like it going in raw, cause if it's going in any other type of way, you just ain't getting the same feeling, you know what I mean? It don't feel the same. But I mean, having some EQ on your vocals whenever you go in, especially like if you EQ in the low end, then you know that's usually straight. That's standard, you know what I mean? Like you getting that low end out of there. It's just that if you're going too high whenever you EQ in your low end, you might want to go back. You thinking that it sounds good, and then you come back a day or two later and listen to the same track like, what the fuck was I thinking? And then you can't undo it because you printed it down. So that's exactly why I like to go in raw. Only thing you can't undo is the compression, and when you print it down, you're gonna make sure that compression is where you want it at. You heard me? All right. So now let me grab this thing real quick and let me show y'all what's going on with this right here. See the LA-2A right here? So first of all, we're gonna come here and we're gonna set the LA-2A, right? Now that bitch set, we're gonna make sure that shit not too loud and that I don't go deaf in here trying to show y'all this shit, all right?
Wait for me.
Wait. You see how that bit went all the way over here to the 3 like that? That bit was way too much.
Wait for me.
So like I said, even if you go over that, it don't necessarily sound bad. You know what I mean? I'm gonna make sure his vocals ain't slamming. They ain't slamming. You know what I mean? If this was a hard song, then man, fuck that. Slam that shit, nigga. All right, so I'm not really doing no gain reduction. Turn this shit off. The needle is not even on 0, right? There's a way to fix that with this little knob right here. If you turn that knob with a screwdriver, all right, see, now it's on 0. All you gotta do is just fuck with that little screw right there and it'll get back right. So again, I still even with that, I still don't take this 100%. This one right here, it seems to be a little bit more accurate. But either way, you're going into the DAW. Just use your ears, man. Use this as a reference. I usually try to go between 3 and 5. And I go in there, as long as it sound good and it feel good, I'm going in. And I'm going in raw with no plugins on the track, so that that is going in straight raw. And as long as it feel and sound good, you keep going and you don't stop until it's time to stop. You'll know when it's time to stop. You'll feel it. It feel like it's time to stop.
I know you think you could find better, baby, but just wait for me.
Anybody want me to mix this shit in one of these videos? Send that trash to me.
I know you think you could find better, baby, but just wait for me. I know you think you could find better, baby, but just wait and see.